evening, Council, Chief of Staff, City Treasurer, Deputy Clerk, and audience. This is the City of Romulus City Council regular meeting for Monday, August 14th, 2017. Mr. Chair, at this time, we will have roll call. Councilwoman Abdo.
Here.
Councilman Barton.
Here.
Councilwoman Choate.
Here.
Councilman Kraut.
Here.
Councilwoman Makowski.
Here.
Councilwoman Roscoe.
Here.
And Councilman Wadsworth. Mr. Chair, we have we have a quorum.
All right.
Tonight, we're presenting an amended agenda. The amended agenda is as follows. Number 1, agenda. Number 2, minutes. Number 3, petitioner. Number 4 is chairperson's report. 5 is the mayor's report. 6A is the clerk's report. 6B is the treasurer's report. 7 is public comment. 8 is unfinished business. 9 is new business. 10 is communication. 11A is warrant 17-15. 11B is warrant 17-15B. And number 12 is an adjournment. Mr. Chair, a motion be in order to accept the amended council meeting agenda as presented.
So moved.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Kraut, supported by Ms. Roscoe. This is for our regular council meeting agenda amendment. Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Number 2, minutes, and item number 2A for approval are the minutes from the regular council meeting held on August 7th, 2017.
So moved for August 7th, 2017.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo, for approval of the minutes from the regular council meeting held August 7th, 2017. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
There were no special meetings held on August 7th. We have no petitioners on the agenda. Number 4 is the chairperson's report.
Okay, thank you, Madam Clerk. I think you have something that you want to present.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to ask council to adopt a memorial resolution for a Mr. Frank Kirk Russell, please.
So moved.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Kraut, supported by Ms. Abdo for a memorial resolution. Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to call up Mr. Dennis Davis.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Mr. Barden and Mr. Wadsworth asked me to come up here and introduce a member of our community who's been here quite a while. And they asked me to start off by saying some nice things about him. As Bill always says, nice tie. Well, I got him tonight, okay? Now, Bill came to our community back in the early 1980s, as you know, and bought into the funeral home with Doug Baum, and then later on owned it outright. There's nothing I can tell you about Bill that everybody up here already knows. His dedication to the community, his service on the festival committees and the DDA and all the other committees and everything he was involved in, and has just been really a big part of the community for years. Bill and I played on the same softball team. He sponsored our bowling team, and we won a couple of championships, things like that. He also, on another personal note, gave me the opportunity to come to work for him on a part-time basis for several years, and it was quite different, but it was humbling in a lot of respects, but also kind of to see a lot of people and how they celebrated life. We made him Person of the Year, I believe, 86? Well, your memory's about as good as mine. 93, okay, I knew it was pretty good. I made him the Chamber of Commerce Person of the Year, and right now I'd like to bring up Bill Crane.
Yeah, Dennis, I think was one of the,
We didn't tell you to talk, we just brought you up.
I think he's like the third or fourth that started working around there. He's got to be around there like 32 years, something like that, 31. Mary Ann, well, not far behind him. Pastor Robert White from Grace Baptist, probably, 15, 17. And I just like to thank the community for a lot of you supporting me. The firm that I sold out to, because everybody's asking different questions. The days are gone that you have a single funeral home, okay, unless you're in a big community. These are some of my colleagues that I go back 30 years out of Wyandotte, Lincoln Park, Southgate. They're going to want it run a little bit differently. You're not just going to see a handful of us there. They have 5 directors that's already served people there already. Linda Choate was there. I hope everything went okay. I was there for the visitation. But they're not, no one's going to be hands-on like I was. You see, I don't have a pager on. Anybody call me today, I haven't put it on today. Might have some messages there, but, I'm out of my hunting property in Jackson. I do plug it in there, and a lot of you have been to my property when I had the party, but I may check in 2 hours, it might be 5 hours. But still going to be in the community. A lot of you know that I purchased Bill Simon's house years ago in Belleville. I'm going to still keep that house and hopefully my hunting property. But about 2 years ago, I decided to walk my hunting property that, this is my happy place. And so many people come in there that I'm doing the preparation on. I'm one of the few owners, by the way, the day I left there, was doing my own preparation with somebody else. But a lot of people who were younger than I was. And it started to play in my mind a little bit. Looking forward to what the future's going to be. I already been down to Texas to see my son and grandkids. I went down there one time in 33 Christmases 2 years ago, and I should have stayed here. So I'd like to thank everybody for supporting me in the past. And kind of summing up, everybody thinks if someone else comes in, they did not raise prices. I just encourage people in the community to support your local small business people. We all know what the status is of downtown there, and the way we did them roads, bad, 3 years. So never do that anywhere in town when you have businesses, because my business, when I sold it, was still down 25, 30%. Because of them 3 years. And you lose some people, they're not going to come back. We're a creature of habit. A lot of you buy your gas the same place. And, you go to the same restaurant. So, but I'm still going to be around. Going to still get involved in stuff. I'm going to help Betsy, I'm sure, with the Pumpkin Festival, doing the chamber stuff. So Bill Wadsworth will still call me doing stuff. But Bill Wadsworth, for day one, has always supported what we did down there. Even though he has problem with fishing in Drummond Island down there, but the boat motor doesn't start. Ask him that story sometime. I'm done.
Thank you, Mr. Crane. I have a proclamation in recognition of William Crane. In the city of Romulus, extend our appreciation for your many years as a business partner in our community. I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors, and thank you for your dedication to the city of Romulus. And this is from the Mayor, Leroy Burcroft, City of Romulus. Thank you, Bill.
Okay, Bill, I have one from the council itself, and it says, whereas Bill Crane is celebrating 34 years of doing business as the proprietor of the Crane Funeral Home on Goddard Road. Whereas in your sophomore year at Battle Creek Lakeview High School, Bill went on to work for the Royal Funeral Home in Battle Creek. He then attended the Kellogg's Community College upon graduation. He moved to Texas, where he took up studies at the Dallas Institute of Mortuary Science. Upon graduation, he became the manager of the Stark Funeral Home in Ypsi. Whereas Bill has been involved in our community, he was a member of the Downtown Businessmen Association, which later became the member of the Rotary Club, the Romulus Chamber of Commerce, and a member of the Optimist Club. Whereas Bill purchased the Baum Funeral Home in 1983, expanded it in 1995, adding 2 chapels. Whereas further resolved, a copy of this resolution is presented to Bill Crane, and it's signed by Leroy Burcroft, Ellen Bragg, Stacy Page, John Barden, Kathy Abdul, Harry Kraut, Celeste Roscoe, Linda Chokes, Sylvia Minkowski, and me, Bill Wadsworth. And Bill, here you go. Just a few things on a personal note. You know, Bill, do you remember the first time that we met at Metro Airport? You were standing with your dog during Flight 255. You don't.
Mid-80s.
Okay, so that's a long time ago. But from, you know,
He tells the story, everybody probably heard it, so.
remember the dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, it defecated all over the sidewalk terminal. But that's a different story. But you know, Bill looked at the downtown when he first came here as not a blight of sight, but as a future development. And for what you did for downtown, believe me, the people will someday come back to downtown. And what you did is unbelievable. You lived it, you talked it. You always didn't agree with Mayor McAnally, Mayor Oakley, Mayor Lambert, and sometimes me, but you always got your point across. Really, you know, you stood for what you thought was right, and we appreciate people like you.
Good evening. On behalf of the Cemetery Board, I have to say Bill Crane made a mark in this city. We have had people that have done burials in that cemetery before. He went above and beyond. He's on my speed dial. He's not going off. There is still work for him to do, and I'm sure he will do it willingly. Smile, Bill. He has brought veterans up out of the ground from 1955. He would come out there at any time and help us do what nobody else would do. And Bill, I will always be grateful for that work that you have accomplished. Now, on a personal note, Bill, you've buried all my family. Some were very testy. Some were ones that my brother had to be closed. And he had to deal with out of family, out of town. And he handled it so professionally. I will always remember how grateful he has been to my family. Thank you, Bill.
Bill, come out in front.
With that, that concludes the chairperson's report.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to accept your report. Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Choate, to accept the chairperson's report. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Thank you.
Number 5 is the mayor's report, and sitting in for Mayor Burcroft is our Chief of Staff, Julie Watoko. Before she presents the mayor's report, Mr. Chair and Council, we do have a request from a resident that would like to speak on one of the items under the mayor's report before council you take action. That would be item 5F, and the requester is Tony Heinberger. So when we get to that item, or if you want him to speak now before you, before Ms. Waitoko gives, presents
Yes.
council to take action, you can do that under the mayor's report.
Speak now.
Good evening, council and Julie and other officials. You haven't gotten to it yet, so I don't know if you've all have read everything under the lease agreement and letter of understanding for the firehouse, barbecue, firehouse, and tavern. You guys really need to read your whole packet, because they are talking about having a bar there. That, in this whole discussion, this whole time, has never been brought up. At any council meeting, nothing. Never been brought up at all, being a bar. Our city's gonna spend $343,000. $250,000 of that is coming from Wayne County, which, where do they get their money from? The taxpayers. Another $93,000 is coming from the taxpayers of Romulus. That's a lot. Yes, the building needs to be redone. I understand all that. To lease the property out for $653 a month, does that seem logical? It doesn't to me. In 5 years, they have the option to buy the property for $250,000. Well, let's see, if we've put $343,000 into it, and they're gonna get it for $250,000, even if you take their rent payments for 12 months times 5 years, we're still gonna lose $50,000. Our city should not be losing $50,000 by any means whatsoever. It talked about in the lease about property taxes. City-owned property doesn't pay property taxes. So how is that going to work? I mean, if we're gonna say it's worth $250,000, if we are able to figure out a way to tax the property, the SEV should be a minimum of $125,000 that they should be paying property taxes on, but it's owned by the city. I hope that the council will go ahead and start asking questions tonight before you approve something that you may not know all the answers to. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, council, the first item on the mayor's report this evening, item 5A, is a no-fee permit, and that's a request for the historical park. That is from Pastor Daniel Young of the Freedom Christian Worship Center, and he's hoping to do a backpack distribution for back to school on August 27th August 26th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
So moved for the no-fee permit for the historical park for August the 26th. Support.
Been motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Mr. Kraut, for a no-fee permit for the historical park. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion.
Thank you. The next item on the mayor's report this evening is the long-term maintenance of stormwater management system. And we're requesting a resolution from city council.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion to concur with the administration and adopt the attached annual community resolution accepting long-term maintenance of stormwater management system. Support.
Been motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Makowski for long-term maintenance of stormwater management systems. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. Our next item this evening is the Senior Alliance Implementation Plan for the 2017-28 fiscal year, and that's at the recommendation of our Senior Services Coordinator, Rose.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Ms.
I'll make the
Makowski.
motion that we concur with the administration and adopt the attached resolution in support of the Senior Alliance Annual Implementation Plan for Aging Services for fiscal year 2018 as presented.
Support.
A motion by Ms. Makowski, supported by Mr. Kraut. This is for the Senior Alliance's implementation plan for 2017-18. Ms. Makowski,
Yes.
Mr. Kraut,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Ms. Choate.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. Our next item is the fiscal year 2018 Smart Municipal Agreement.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion to concur with the administration, authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the attached agreements for the Community Credit Program and the Local Transit Program between SMART and the City of Romulus for 2018 fiscal year.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, for a state municipal agreement fiscal year 2018. Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Makowski,
Yes.
Mr. Kraut,
Yes.
Ms. Choate,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. Our next item is a road closure request, and this request would be to, for the closure of Goddard Road between Sterling Street and Shook, beginning at 7 p.m. on Friday, August 25th, and ending at 12 a.m. on Saturday, August 27th. And this is going to be for a community event following the Romulus Alumni Night at Sounds in Downtown, and that's actually the last Sounds in Downtown event, so we're hoping to kind of add that on as a fun evening for the community, with council's approval for the road closure.
So move for the road closure.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Makowski, supported by Mr. Wadsworth. This is for our road closure request. Ms. Makowski,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. Choate,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Mr. Kraut.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Okay, and our next item is the lease agreement and letter of understanding for the property at 35255 Goddard Road.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Ms. Makowski.
I'll make the motion with request for discussion.
And I'll support it with also discussion.
Okay. Been motioned by Ms. Makowski, supported by Mr. Wadsworth. And this is for the lease agreement and letter of understanding, which is at 35255 Goddard Road. Discussion. Ms.
Thank you very
Makowski.
much. If we could ask, thank you, Mrs. Lambert, to come up and answer those questions such as the taxes, et cetera, that were asked by the earlier citizen.
Sure.
Thank you kindly.
There is a misunderstanding. All of the money is grant money, CDBG money. None of it is from general fund. The $250,000 that we're receiving is from money that was recaptured from Wayne County. So we really have to spend it. The federal government kind of frowns on it if you don't spend what you say you're going to. It could jeopardize any money that we get in the future. The $93,000 is grant money, CDBG money for 17-18. So it's all from the same pot of money. We're not going to use any general fund money to do that. As far as the taxes, I know that I have a building, the DDA has a building downtown, and if it is leased, it doesn't matter, the taxes have to be paid by law. So we have our tenant paying those taxes there. So even though it is a city building, it's being leased, and we are charged tax on that.
Mr. Chair, could I just finish
Yes.
just the one question?
Sure.
So one thing I wanted to also confirm, I know originally the CDGB was not the 93,000. And I know also that maybe you could tell the citizens how that $250,000 wasn't even on the table for Romulus, but our mayor and you and Mr. Keys, will you tell the story of how we got that
Well,
money?
Like I said, this is from money that was recaptured from all the communities. They didn't spend the money, so they had this pot that we had to spend. Well, actually, all the communities actually applied for certain projects. And our mayor and Tim went down there and really, fought for us to get that money. We need economic development, obviously, in our downtown. And this is a great motivator. I think it's going to be a good beginning for us. It's always been similar to the restaurant that Chuck has in Eastern Market, which is a barbecue and bar, if you want to call it that. So it was never, we were never trying to hide that. Like I said, it's going to hopefully spur some good economic development for us.
Yes, Mr. Wadsworth?
Mrs. Lambert, one question I have is, to me, we're definitely going to get rid of a big eyesore on the corner up here. But what happens, and I don't want this to happen, if the business fails in a year and a half? We get the building back
We'll
as
look
is,
at
or?
that. Mr. Nolan, what you
And
don't
I'm not
realize-
wishing that Mr. Nolan's business fails.
No, and Mr. Nolan
I'm
is
sure
actually
he is.
here with us, but he is doing all the renovations on the interior of that building. So he's putting a considerable amount of money into that building that belongs to the city.
Okay.
So,
In the future, if he wants to purchase it, he can purchase it too.
right, and we wouldn't take anything less than, we have to repay that $250,000 or the grant money to HUD. We repay it, and then we are able to reuse it as program income. So we can use that money again for another project.
Okay, so he's not going to be given a blank check. He'll do the work and we reimburse him. Is that the way that it's going to go, or
No, he's gonna do all the interior renovations himself. He's paying for all of it.
he's paying for that?
Yes.
This 250 is just for the outside of the building.
Yeah, we will be opening bids on the 22nd for the parking lot and underground work. OHM believes that 250 would cover most of it.
Okay.
And, the rest of the money is for.
And there's no general fund money being
Absolutely
whatsoever
not,
for this?
no.
Okay, fine, thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Maria, how long is the original lease for? Maybe I missed that.
It's 5 years,
5 years. I missed
to
that.
22.
Okay, sounds like it.
Any other discussion?
Who set the price at $650?
I think that was set as a percentage. I'm not really sure how we got to it. I will get back to you on that, though. Like I said, Mr. Nolan is doing all the work on the interior, so the $650 is really a minimal amount, just to say we're doing something.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Do we have a projection date as to when this will be completed or opening?
As far as our portion of it, we hope to be done by June next year.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Crop?
Stay.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes,
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. And our last item this evening is the 2017 Justice Assistance Grant, also known as the JAG agreement. And this just requires an action of council to recognize the funding award to the city of Romulus in the amount of $9,867. And this is a grant that's utilized for technology.
So moved for the JAG agreement.
support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo. This is for the 2017 Justice Assistant Grant, JAG agreement. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes,
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Mr. Crop?
Yes.
Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council, and that will conclude the mayor's report this evening.
Thank you.
6A is the clerk's report, and again, good evening, council. Before I begin the items on the agenda, I just have a few comments and some thank yous, a few people that I would like to acknowledge. Last week was the election, as we all know, and it was the launching of the new voting equipment, which are actually all over the state of Michigan, and it was a huge undertaking, but I can glad to say things did go well. And I have a few thank yous for that. It was a huge undertaking, and I'd first like to start off with thanking my staff. A lot of hours, a lot of hard work. The deputy clerk, Bart Fitzgerald, the administrative assistant, Ann Lammers, our election clerk, Bobby Marcel, and our business license and election support, Paul Antolon, to all the election inspectors, the chair, co-chairs, our AB counting board, our receiving boards. Thank you. They put in the time for training, and so they were there and very supportive. We had some extra support, and I really want to thank these 4 guys. They were great. Dennis Davison, I don't know if he's still here. There he is. Thank you. Chris Dunn, Dan Bales, what a treat. And we had Michael Lammers. To all of our DPW crew, we want to thank all the guys. They were out there early, setting up signs, marking things, and still after the polls closed, they had to pick up all of the equipment. So thank you to Kathy Ritter and Bobby McCrate, Roberto Scapitici, and again, the DPW crew. Also to Superintendent McAnally, Romulus Community Schools custodial staff for working collaboratively with us so that we can get those polls open, the schools, and providing chairs and tables and things for us. I really want to thank them for that. Also, I would like to thank our Chief of Staff, Julie Watoko, who was extremely, just can't say enough. Julie, thank you for all of your support. She would always check on me, make sure she had my back. Councilman Barton, thank you. Councilman Barton attended every training session that we had just to give support to our workers and things, and just support him in launching the new election equipment. So Councilman Barton, thank you so much. And then we had a special treat on election night. Councilwoman Abdo dropped off a nice scrumptious pan of mostaccioli, which we all enjoyed. So thank you, Councilwoman Abdo. We had a special treat as we were really under the radar. There were only about 14 communities in Wayne County that actually had an August election. So we were kind of we've become the trailblazers for this new election equipment here in Wayne County. So we had the state of Michigan that was here. We had Wayne County. We had Dominion, the company who manufactures the voting system. We had about 5 communities that actually came out to kind of see our operation and things. So we were very fortunate to have the Brownstown deputy clerk kind of stay with us all day, serving our AB counting board, and that was Amy Whipple. And just everyone working collaboratively, we were able to have a successful election. And so we're looking forward, and we're gearing up for November. So it would be remiss of me if I just didn't mention these people, all these individuals by name, and just to tell all of you and council in general, thank you, everyone, just for your support for the election. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Burke.
The first item under my report is 6A1, and this is for second reading and final adoption of Budget Amendment 1718-4, General Construction, Binding Road Extension E-Course Construction. This was introduced at the council meeting of August 7th, 2017.
So moved.
Support.
The motion by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Roscoe. This is for the second reading, final adoption of a budget amendment 1718-4, general construction. This is a binding road extension, e-course construction. Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Abdo? Yes. Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Line item 6A for second reading and final adoption is Budget Amendment 1718-5, and this is the library fund. And this budget amendment was introduced at the council meeting of August 7th, 2017.
Move.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Kraut, supported by Ms. Choate, for second reading and final adoption of a budget amendment 1718-5, library fund. Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
6A3 for second reading and final adoption is Budget Amendment 1718-6. This is coming from the general fund, and this budget amendment was introduced at the council meeting of August 7th, 2017.
So move for second reading, final adoption of Budget Amendment 17/18-6 for the general fund.
Support.
Motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo for second reading and final adoption of Budget Amendment 1718-6, General Fund. Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Ms. Choate,
Yes.
Mr. Kraut,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. Makowski.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
And the last agenda item under the clerk's report, this is a special meeting request from our city treasurer, Stacy Page, for August 28, 2017 at 7 o'clock p.m. And this is to discuss the city quarterly investment report.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms.
I'd like to make
Sure.
a motion that we schedule a special meeting for August 28th at 7 PM.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Choate, supported by Mr. Makowski. This is for the special meeting, open study session
With the treasurer.
request for Monday, August the 28th, 2017 at 7 p.m. Ms. Choate,
Yes.
Ms. Makowski,
Yes.
Mr. Kraut,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. We will have a study session.
Thank you, and I also want to mention, I knew I'd forget someone, two more thank yous, and that's from Andy from the RAC for opening their doors, and also Rose Swadan from the Senior Center. Again, thank you, everyone. That concludes the treasurer's report. 6B is the treasurer's report, clerk's report.
Right, thank you.
Good evening, council, chief of staff, clerk, deputy clerk, and audience. I only have one item I wanted to cover under my report. We've changed, we have a different company that we use for credit card payments, and for those of you that do not know, I wanted to share a couple improvements with the new credit card company. Now, over-the-counter payment options are now available at City Hall, Police Department, Fire Department, Animal Shelter, Library, Building, and DPW. Also, we accept all major credit cards and debit cards. Customers can pay for any city services with a credit or debit card at City Hall. And finally, customers can pay for most city services over the phone now. So if you can't get away and it's convenient for you and you choose to use a credit card, you can call the treasurer's office and we can accept payment over the phone. So always looking to improve customer service. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Madam Treasurer, what date is those bills due again?
The tax
bill?
bills?
Yes.
October 2nd.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Number 7 is public comment, and this is the portion of the agenda that's set aside for those of you that are in the audience. If you'd like to have comments, please raise your hand, and after you've been acknowledged by our chairperson, approach the podium and state your name. Please note that if you have any questions that you need answered by the administration or city council, please note that those questions or concerns will be addressed under item number 8, unfinished business. Mr. Chair and Council, we do not have any written requests at this time under public comment.
Comments from the audience, Mr. Miller?
Thank you, Council. You know, in the past, I've been quite critical about the start and stop projects that's been brought to this city. It's gone from the racetrack to the high-end mall to numerous other projects, which was a start and stop situation that got the citizens excited about growth within our community, growth that we certainly need. When Amazon came here, I was somewhat critical about it because it was a continuance, in my opinion, without having seen any real information that would lead to believing. And so I was somewhat critical about it at that time also. And I was critical about the $14 million that was going to be bonded out to do the construction for the roadway for Amazon. That $14 million was being bonded out in such a unusual manner that the guarantor of the bonds was the city. And at that time, I made a commitment to do the gathering of signatures for a referendum. That referendum would have allowed the citizens to determine whether or not they wanted to spend the $14 million. Having been successful with little more than a handful of people to obtain the necessary signatures, which we did. I first off want to say to those individuals that worked in very great earnest, who worked hard to obtain those signatures, I want to thank you. But we had a great set down, was many comments back and forth in regards to the issuance of these signatures. In the meantime, I talked with not only Mayor Burcroft, but Tim Keys, and the attorney Hitchcock was involved. And we had unprecedented access to parts of the contract. I have in my hand here that portion of the contract, which shows an absolute guarantee for the payment of that road, which would have been encompassed within the $14 million. So in the course of our conversation in regards to whether or not to go ahead with the referendum, it has always been my belief that that which is in the best interest of the city should always go forward. I've never been one to stand in the way of real progress. We've had very little real progress in quite some time. We do have the Mopar building. We have a few other Jimmy John's, things of that nature. This massive project over here by Amazon could be a key development for the overall growth of the city of Romulus. Having done that, we had great conversations in regards whether or not we should go indeed forward with a referendum. And we came to the conclusion, myself and those hardworking individuals that belong to our group, that we would refrain from putting in the signatures for the referendum, because we believe that it was in the best interest of the city to allow Amazon, in cooperation with the city, to go forward. And so therefore, to those individuals who worked so hard and so earnestly to obtain these signatures, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I believe not only you made the right decision, but I believe I made the right decision. And we'll look forward to Amazon, the subsidiary, completing the project, which if you've watched, they're really going to town with it now. And they certainly, if we had done the referendum, it probably would have stalled the project, and installing the project, there may have been a opening somewhere else that would have been more conducive to their time frame. So I want to thank everybody. I want to thank the mayor. I want to thank Tim Keys, and I want to thank Attorney Hitchcock for allowing us access to the information, which is the convincer. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other comments from the audience? Yes, Ms. Dancy.
Good evening, everybody. I just wanted to give a little list and overview of what's coming up around Romulus. The Romulus Farmers Market continues on Wednesdays at the Historical Park from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. A new archery league also continues this week on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. at the range at Elmer Johnson Park. This Thursday will be a special free Celtic fusion concert at the library featuring the band Nessa at 7 p.m. The next Sounds of Downtown concert is this Friday, August 18th, featuring SRO and R&R Never Forget with 90s music and Bob Seger covers beginning at 7 p.m. Blue Sky is hosting a chili cook-off and cornhole tournament fundraiser to benefit the Romulus Goodfellows on August 19th, starting at 10 a.m., and scorekeepers and volunteers are needed for this event. The Romulus Garden Club is hosting a planning meeting open to the public on Monday, August 21st at 6:30 at the library. The Senior Book Club at the Romulus Senior Center will be Tuesday, August 22nd at 10:30 a.m. The annual Romulus Police Officers Association golf outing will be held on Friday, August 25th at the Links at Gateway, and registration is $90 per person. Also on August 25th will be a very special end of summer downtown block party that you guys approved the road closure for. Thank you for that. Start off your evening that night at the Cemetery Board's Pig Roast fundraiser at the Historical Park Pavilion, beginning at 6 p.m. until the food runs out. Admission is $10 per person. Then join us for Romulus Alumni Maroon and White Night at Sounds in Downtown from 7 to 9:30 p.m. featuring Rust Belt Revival with our favorite hometown celebrities, father-daughter resident duo Randy and Savannah Moffett, and former Romulus band teacher Mark Fernandez. Show your Eagle pride and please encourage your classmates to attend. And finally, to end the evening, join us around the corner at a pop-up tap room until midnight with adult beverages, games, and music. It's the perfect way to end an evening with friends. Hope to see you there. For more details on this extravaganza and our other events, please visit our website, romulusgov.com, or like us on Facebook. Thanks and have a great week, everybody.
Thank you. Any other comments from the audience? No more comments? Okay, the comments closed.
8 is unfinished business. 9 is new business.
Mr. Wadsworth?
If I could, the Pumpkin Festival is a mere 4 or 5 weeks away, and I just want to remind the public that we're playing bingo again for the Rama's Animal Shelter, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All the funds go to the shelter that we raise. It'll be at the senior place, and to this date, we've raised $252,000 in the past 13 years, and I look forward to everybody coming out. And that's one thing that I forgot to say about Bill Crane. When I started that fund back in 2003 or 4, he was one of the first ones that jumped on board in support of me, Bill, and I appreciate that. Okay, a second thing, during the Pumpkin Festival, St. Aloysius Church is having a white elephant sale. It'll be on Thursday from 3 to 6, Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 6, and Sunday from 12 to 4, and it's in the barn just to the north of the church. Thank you. And the bingo, we lost we didn't lose them forever, but there's a couple of folks that can't volunteer this year, so we're looking for volunteers for bingo also. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wadsworth.
Is there any more new business? Number 10 is communication. Item 11A for approval is warrant 17-15.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Cho?
I'd like to make a motion that we pay warrant 17-15 in the following amounts. For general fund, $160,003.25. Major street fund is $21,429.55. Local street fund, $3,368.48. Cable TV is $86.95. Merriman Road Special Assessment, $622.34. Street lighting, $44,106.89. Oakwood SAD, $101.78. Garbage and Rubbish Collection Fund, $81,609.96. 911 Service Fund, $39,905.38. Narcotics Forfeiture Fund, $3,999.24. Library Fund is $13,191.95. DDA, $20,639.13. Tifa District 2, $29,702.39. Court Building Construction Fund, $1,972.50. Water and Sewer Fund, $587,477.58. Motor Vehicle Fund, $79,343.35. Technology services, $6,899.27. Retirees insurance benefits, $5,821.54. Revolving fund, $5,442.79. Delinquent personal property fund, $9,551.27. The payroll fund is $3,783.35 for a grand total of all funds, $1,125,058.94.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Choate, supported by Mr. Kraut, and this is to pay warrant number 17-15 for $1,125,058.94. Ms. Choate,
Yes.
Mr. Kraut,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Makowski,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Warrant number 17-15 will be paid.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Choate?
we have another warrant, 17-15E. This is for the payment for the election that was held last Tuesday. This is from the general fund, $15,230.
Support.
Who supported that?
I did
Ms.
so.
Makowski?
Yeah.
It's been motioned by Ms. Choate, supported by Ms. Makowski, to pay warrant number 17-15E. This is for $15,230. Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth? Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Warrant number 15-15E will be paid.
And number 12 is adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Makowski for adjournment. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. We are adjourned. Thank you.